What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Minecraft Time Machine. This is a world that I started with one of my best friends, and basically what this is we started playing in Minecraft Beta 1.6.6, which is around when we both started playing Minecraft. That's the update I started playing in. He started playing a little bit before me, but we just decided to start from there, mainly because that was the first update that the Xbox 360 version released in. But yeah, that's the update we started in, and slowly we have been updating through the versions. Currently, we are on version 1.8.9, and I thought this was a good time to give you guys a little bit of a world tour. I'll do these periodically as we update. Probably next one will be around when we get to like maybe the Nether update, but so far we're going to start here. Some of you may have seen this before, but this is using the seed 404. In these versions, you can't see the seed in the F3 menu, but if you do /seed, it'll pop up right there. This is seed 404, and basically this was infamous for the old 404 challenge. And basically what the challenge was is you spend one day getting stuff on the surface, and then you come down into this cave underneath the gravel, and basically you live down here forever. We just decided to use this as the seed because it's a famous seed, and well, we wanted to see how it would change throughout all the updates as we go, so we chose this seed. As you can see, this was a desert at one point. In a lot of the earlier versions, when you would update, the at least in the older versions, the biomes weren't tied to chunks, I think is the technical reason for this. But basically the biome map would update and deserts would get overwritten with like ice plains and frozen biomes. So basically what happened here is this got overwritten by an ice plains, and it basically turned this into a frozen desert, which is really interesting because I love seeing these frozen deserts in these old versions, and having the spawn turn into this was actually fairly cool. Over here, this is the starter, like the little starter area that we had. My friend Hutch, he set up a little place here right next to spawn. So this is his stuff. He hasn't really been on in a while, so not much has happened here, but this is where I decided to make my first area. Admittedly, I don't really live over here anymore. And something that I find, this is the starting platform, by the way. This is where I spawned in whenever I first started on the world. So I decided to make that there so I would never forget where that was. So something that happened whenever the lake froze over here is I had a boat that I would use to get over to that area. And whenever this lake froze over, it froze over top of this boat. So I've never went and retrieved this boat because I kind of wanted to see how long it would stay here. And ever since we updated to version, I feel like it was 1.0 that froze over this whole thing. It was either 1.0 or it was like 1.7.3. I think it was 1.0, but it froze over this whole biome. Oh, wait, it might have been 1.8 that this happened. But yeah, whenever the biome froze over, the boat stayed here underneath the ice and it has not moved. So it is frozen in time. Besides its bouncing that it's doing. But hopefully whenever boats change in 1.9, it doesn't go away and it stays there. So yeah, hopefully that stays like that. But this is my starting area. This is the first house I built. I built this in 1.6.6. And as you can see over the updates, the doors kind of broke. I haven't broken and replaced it yet, but it's currently like that. And yeah, this is the starting area. I used to have my bed out here, but I eventually moved it inside. But I have a bunch of stuff over here. Here's oh, interesting. So this is what people call a petrified oak slab. So back in the day, whenever you would have wooden slabs, you would have to mine them with a pickaxe. So they use like the stone properties basically. So since this was in a chest and it was a wood slab, it's, as you can see, the item ID says stone slab, but it's a wooden slab. If you place it, you'll see that it's a wood slab, and then you break it with a pickaxe and it's still a stone slab. So these are petrified wooden slabs. So that's something neat. One of the things that my friend Jonas did was he made like 4 full double chests of those petrified slabs. I don't know what he's gonna do with them, but um, he'll probably do something with them eventually. But here's the inside of this house. I have a little greenhouse here. Initially, it used to just be like this one ring, and it was just sugarcane because back in the day, you couldn't walk on farmland. So being inside and having this in here didn't really make much sense because I would kind of have to shift over all this, and I didn't really like it that much. So I didn't really use this greenhouse at first, but ever since I started using it again whenever we got potatoes and carrots, and I think right now it's just potatoes planted in here. Yeah, I haven't really been back over here much because I do have like a new base that I hang out at most of the time. So when enchanting first got added, I wanted to make this like a little enchanting area. As you can see, I started and I never finished it. So you know what? I'm actually going to take this here because I have an enchanting area that doesn't have an enchant table at my new base. So we're going to take that over there whenever we do get there. But up here, I have a storage area. As you can see, it didn't really get much use. This is kind of all that's in here. There's nothing in any of these other chests. So yeah, nothing really got used here. This used to be a regular forest, but like I said, it got overwritten by the frozen biomes. So it's kind of just a frozen wasteland now. And yeah, and I have a little bit of a sugarcane farm over here. And back in 1.0, mobs were really glitchy. They didn't want to stay in pens at all. So I never really built up this cow farm to be more than just like 1 or 2 cows. I think, I don't know what, I think the cows got out of this pen a long time ago because they did not want to stay in here. They just kept glitching out. So I never really built it up to get food from it because, well, the cows wouldn't stay in the pen. So there's a sugarcane farm there. And then if you look over here, we were going to build, eventually we're going to build it, but as of right now, we haven't built anything over here. But basically over here, we're going to build, this is going to be the start of the Nether hub for, well, basically the start of the Nether hub. So I had to finagle my portal a little bit to get it not to link up to our Nether hub, but this is eventually going to be the build on the outside that the Nether hub leads to. And that's probably the biggest, one of the biggest time consuming things we did was making the Nether side of this, which I guess I can show you now since I showed you my first base. This is kind of the next step. So we will head into the Nether here. And something that I love that we did, we decorated this a lot. So this is like a little cave that goes in here. Basically, the whole premise of this is we wanted to build some sort of like snow palace in the overworld that looks like the Nether is rising up and trying to go into it. And kind of what the story is that the Nether took a piece of the overworld and brought it into the Nether, and then the Nether is going into the overworld. That's kind of the thing, kind of like they're invading the ice palace that's going to be there eventually. So basically what we built here is like a little overworld slice inside of the Nether. So basically here we have it's a dome. It's kind of like a snow globe, but there's no snow. Is kind of what we did. As you can see, there is water in here. In I think one of the 1.9 updates that were very short-lived, you could actually bring ice into the Nether and break it, and it would form water inside the Nether. So we wanted to use that update specifically to make this dome here in the Nether have like actually look like it was brought from the overworld, like it had the water and stuff from the overworld brought into the Nether, and you're kind of living here. So this is kind of like the Pigman's domain. Basically, they've taken over this house that's here. Admittedly, I haven't finished this house. I finished all of the rooms, but I haven't decorated it. So it's just like empty rooms everywhere. Eventually, I'll probably come back here and decorate, but yeah, in here I have these slabs currently because I think a ghast has enough room to spawn inside. So I put these slabs here so they wouldn't spawn. But currently this is like the little side yard. We have a fountain here along with a little bit of wheat growing. got this little area over here. Nothing's in here, but this is kind of just made to be the beginnings of the Nether Hub. So currently going down through the cave here. Actually, I want to show you guys the portal to my base. So this is how I had to mess with the portal at my base, because initially the portal was up next to like the door next to that little like workstation area that's right next to the house, and I had to move it because basically that portal would link up to the one that's right over there. So we made this custom tree here, and we put a trapdoor, and basically I had to make my portal to my house down here so that it wouldn't link up to the portal that's inside of that cave. So this leads here, and then this is the way I have to get to this house. But like I said, I don't use this house really anymore. It's kind of just like a slice of memory. This is what I used when I first started out. And like even whenever I built the inside, I didn't even really use the inside much. As you can see, all these chests are out here. I kind of just lived on the outside. I kind of just built the house just to have a memory of these versions. Even though I don't use it anymore, it's nice to see kind of the building styles that you would go into building houses back in those days with the limited blocks that you had. So yeah, that's how I built the house. Even in 1.8.9, we don't even have the other trapdoors yet. We still only have oak trapdoors. Well, I think we have iron trapdoors. I think. I'd have to double check that, but I don't think we have any of the other wooden trapdoors. We only have the regular doors. So moving on, if we come over here, this way leads to my friend Jonas's place. As you can see, we have some big cobblestone thing over here. So that is kind of where my new area is. It's way over there through the cobblestone pathway. But he made his, this whole part here is kind of a custom Nether Fortress bit that we custom made, because his portal spawned like right on the edge. Like it was kind of like one of those cutting out pieces of the Nether Fortress. It just jutted out right there. So the portal spawned there. So we decided to extend the Nether Fortress up here so that we can bring it up to the dome. So his portal's right here inside the Nether Fortress, basically. These instant damage potions have a purpose, by the way. I'm going to show you that once we get to my new area that I currently live in. But this is my friend Jonas's area. He has a big mob farm over here. Not mob farm, but like sheep farm, cow farm. He just built this. This is an AFK fish farm. We wanted to limit how far we go in updates at a time. Initially, we were going one update at a time, but in the earlier versions, there wasn't really much content added in those updates, so we decided to skip a few. We went from 1.0 to 1.4.7, and we played in that version for a month or two until we finished a bunch of goals, and then we just last night decided to update to 1.8 because we wanted to. Initially, we were going to do, of course, 1.5. That's the redstone update where they add comparators and hoppers and stuff. But we really wanted the slime blocks so that we can make basically a lot of our focus in this update is making a bunch of redstone related things, and having the slime blocks is going to make a lot of farms that we want to make possible. Currently there's like a big iron farm that's going to be one of our big goals right now. We have one currently, but it's not going to be nearly as efficient as the one we were going to make. But this is Jonas's area. He has a line of furnaces. This pathway here, it leads to the frozen lake, and it goes straight to the ice palace that we're eventually going to build. He built a dam here, and basically he wanted to build his starter base up here on the dam, but he's yet to actually build his base. As you can see, this is old beta terrain. You can see the harsh line that's way over there. That's where the chunks meet of the new terrain as opposed to the beta terrain that was formed here. But yeah, he hasn't built his starter house yet. Even though we have like full diamond and everything now, he still hasn't built the starter house. He kind of just lives out here, kind of like how I did with that area over there. But if we go down here, I want to show you his petrified oak slabs that he made. All of these chests here are full of petrified oak slabs. We have a gigantic basically it's a plains biome now, but it was a forest, and we basically he deforested the whole forest and used that to make those double chests full of petrified oak slabs, because that's one of the things he wanted to do mainly. So moving on from Jonas's area, we can start to head over towards my new base. And this is currently where I reside. Once we get this is just like the bottom of where his portal is. So you can come out here and wherever you need to go. If you need to get out there, you can go there basically. But going in this direction, this is currently where I am living. I went out, basically the way I found this place is I went out into the new chunks from going from beta to 1.0. I went out into the new chunks and I found a cave because I wanted to get to the mine shafts. So I found a cave that had a mine shaft in it, and I ended up finding something really interesting. What I had found was I found 4 cave spider spawners basically right next to each other. So there was one here, and then as you can see this wall here, there's 3 right in here. So I found all 4 of these right next to each other. And currently in 1.8, this doesn't work how it's supposed to anymore. They used to be able to see me through this glass, and they would come up here into the water, and I would kill them. But currently, that does not work anymore. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to fix this so I can farm wool again. But eventually, it'll probably end up being something that I initially had trouble with. Was I was trying to get water to move all the spiders around and bring them into like a singular killing chamber. But it was taking a while for me to figure out how to do that because I'm not very good at messing with water. But eventually I can probably turn at least these 2 into 1. I might have to get rid of the 3rd, but it used to be a triple with a 4th one here, but I destroyed this 4th one. Something that I was going to do here. This was during the 1.0 update. In 1.0, this biome here was not a taiga. At least it wasn't a snowy taiga. It was like a hills biome, basically. And basically what happened is once we went from 1.0 to 1.4, the biomes changed again, and it made this snowy. So initially what I was going to do was I was going to make a redstone elevator going up, and we updated before I finished it. I thought I'd be fine, but it turned snowy, and I was going to make like a big farm up there, like for crops and everything. But since it's snowy, it's going to freeze all my water, and I don't want to. I could still do it, but I would have to deal with putting glowstone under the water and all that. So currently I haven't made that elevator that goes up there, but maybe one day I will. Over here, we also found a double skeleton spawner. So I can actually build in here real quick. We'll go up here so I can show you. I don't want to break into the smooth stone, but up here we have a double skeleton spawner that we found that was right next to the spider's farm, basically. One there, and they go into the water, into the hole, and then they go up the glass tube, and basically this is what we're using as our main XP farm currently. So they go up this glass tube, fall down, and then we have a couple different ways. We have this so that it just kills them. Oh, that's an XP mode. So kill mode is this, so it just kills them. This also gets rid of the drops. We have this lever here so that it kills them, but the drops stay on the ground. And then we have this just to farm the XP. So they'll go here, you'll punch them, and then they'll die. This is the on-off switch to get them to start spawning. And then here's a hole to throw things in, because sometimes this one gets a little finicky and things don't like to go in it. So I made that one over there so you can just basically dump your whole inventory. At the moment, we have a bunch of stuff, and these are some enchanted books that Jonas was enchanting with all the levels that he was getting. He would come over here, enchant a book, just throw it in there, basically. So let's actually turn this on kill mode so things... the skeletons that did spawn, they just die. So something that we have found is that around us are quite a bit of slime chunks. There's one over here, so occasionally a slime will spawn over here. And then there's also, I'm pretty sure this chunk that I dug out, like right here, I'm pretty sure one of these is a slime chunk, because I've came in here multiple times and there's been full slimes just hopping around in this area. So there's a lot of slime chunks around us, and it's allowed us to get not a lot of slime, but I have like a stack or two of slime just laying around. Here's an ender chest, and this is the enchantment table that I needed to put back. So Jonas had moved it closer to the skeleton farm so that he wouldn't waste levels. So yeah, I brought that back over here since it wasn't getting used over here. But this is my little tiny area that I have here. I got some furnaces on each side along with quite a bit of storage. This side is kind of just a jumbled mess, whereas this side is a little bit more organized. These two are really the only chests that are organized, while everything else is kind of thrown around. But this is my resource chest, and then our potion making chest. A lot of the potions we were making over here is we were just making instant damage and instant health potions, so that we could use both of these farms effectively. So the health potions would be for the skeleton farm that's over there, because you need health potions to damage those. Undead mobs require instant health potions to damage. And then the instant damage potions were to kill the spiders in the spider farm. So there's a little area to get up. It's just a little bit of a taiga biome, but down here is where we were doing a lot of our strip mining. So initially I had farmed, I was mining this way. The reason why it's big like this is because it was before we had beacons and we were trying to get a bunch of cobblestone, because we were putting slabs in a nether fortress to make it to where the skeletons spawn better. So we needed a bunch of cobblestone to do that, and that was the direction I was mining for that. And then here are all my chests for the various stones that we've collected. Admittedly, I don't have much cobblestone anymore, but that's because we've used a lot of it for various things. But once we got our beacon, I moved from that side over here, and this is kind of where we've just been mining a bunch of cobblestone, mining redstone and all the coal that we find. There's some redstone right there actually that I missed, but yeah, this is where we brought our beacon just so that we can insta mine all of the cobblestone that we could need. Eventually we're gonna have to move this a little bit down that way, and then I'll probably make a pathway that goes straight over so you don't have to like jump down into this area. But currently this is where we're at. It's just it's a mess. It's what it is, because we're not really mining specifically any direction. We're just picking an area that isn't a pain in the butt to mine at, and then we're mining over there. We still have area that the haste still reaches, so we're not done mining here yet, but it probably won't be too much longer until it becomes a hassle to mine cobblestone here, and we'll have to move a little bit down into that direction. But currently this is our resource mine for cobblestone and iron and stuff that we need. Here's another resource chest. Basically, I just silk touch everything and then fortune it eventually. So that's where I store all of my silk touch stuff. I heard a creeper fall. There is a ravine above me somewhere up there that I've kind of closed off from everything. So that's probably where I heard that creeper from. But yeah, this is my main area of living. Portal used to be up there actually, and then I decided to make a little area down here. So that's the new stuff. And then now we can move on to our current projects that we are working on. So whenever we updated to 1.3, we wanted to start doing a bunch of things with villagers, because that's whenever they added emeralds and stuff. So currently we wanted to find a jungle to start all that in, because we didn't go straight to 1.2 when the jungle biome was added. So we wanted to do all of this inside of the jungle biome. So we went out, we found an okay sized jungle biome. Okay. I thought that was going to go for a minute, but yeah, so we need to go find a jungle. Wait, I need a cart for this. So this is behind the house. Eventually we'll have this decorated a little bit, but basically our plans for this is currently we are able to break into the nether roof. It's just a bit tedious because this version is between when they allowed back in the day you were able to break through the bedrock by growing dark oak trees. but they patched that in this version because whenever we update, we normally like to go to the last version that was released in that update series. And we didn't think about breaking onto the nether roof. We didn't think about it being patched, the dark oak method, but it was patched in like I think 1.8.2. So we didn't stop in that version just to break the roof. So now we kind of have to do an alternate method that's a little bit more tedious. But this right here is what has taken me and Jonas a lot of time to build. Jonas more than me, but I helped a lot with this as well. But this is what is called a piston bolt. It didn't really work effectively until we moved into this update. But basically what it does is you place your minecart, fire it, and the pistons push your minecart really quickly. The jungle is about like 600 blocks in that direction. It would take a few minutes just to run along this pathway that we have. Initially, it was just a cobblestone pathway going over top of lava lakes and stuff, but we wanted something to get us there quickly, and the ice boat method was not a thing. So if you press this, it's a little bit loud, but yeah, it pushes you very quickly all the way to the jungle biome that we have found. We timed it. It takes about 31 seconds to get from end to end. So if you want to time it right now, you're more than welcome to. But it takes somewhere between like 30 to 31 seconds. But yeah, we're coming up on it now. This is our jungle area that we have started building. So if we go through here, you'll see currently what we're working on. It is nowhere near finished, but it's being started. So basically, we're building a jungle village is what we're building. This is what we're going to use to house our whole villager network that we are going to start. This is going to be like a big jungle tree. We started making the branches, and then we need to make some sort of canopy. We're not the best builders, but this is what we've got going so far. Currently, all of these like wool placements, these are going to be like little village huts. And once we have our villagers fully brought up to being the best versions they can be, we'll bring them. We're going to put our villager area like right over there. We'll bring them up and into their specific houses for them to live in. But yeah, this is currently what we're working on. It's not even halfway done. We barely scratched the surface in this, but currently this is one of our big projects that we are working on. And then if you look over at that monstrosity made of netherrack, you might be able to guess what that is, but it is an old version of iron. It's one of the oldest versions of iron farming. I'll cut here so you don't have to watch me go all the way down this pathway, but basically it is at least the video that we got it from is an old video by DocM77 making an iron farm. And oh, it doesn't make the noise anymore whenever you're going on the minecart. But basically it's like 4 chambers. And then there's like the way villages used to be made was like if it's based on how many doors are there with a block above it. So based on how many doors, as you can see, they're all the way around there. It determines like village count. So basically, currently what this does is it's not the fastest iron farm, but at least right now we have some. It used to not even be automatic. We used to have to stand here and pick up the iron, but it looks like Jonas finally made some hoppers for it. But yeah, the iron forms up there. Iron golems go there and then they drop. They also spawn in there and then they go into this. There's lava in there. It'll kill them and then the iron will drop. Currently, this is all we've been able to get so far. So it's not that fast, which there's a version of an iron farm that we're going to make next. It is a video produced. Tango Tech made it. I think it's called the Iron Phoenix or whatever. Jonas really wants to make it, so that'll probably be a project that we start eventually. But this is our iron farm and our jungle area. But I think that is probably it. So let's head back over to the spawn area to end the world tour. So that's really the end of the world tour. That's everything we built so far. Probably the next one will be somewhere around the time of the Nether update, or maybe once we finally get to modern day Minecraft. But this is kind of a slice of what old version Minecraft playing was like, and kind of what happens through the updates as you play. The worlds become ridiculous. As you can see, we're in the snowy desert. But I've always wanted to have like it. This world wasn't created back in 2012 by any means, but it is made back in those versions and slowly updated as we play. Because I never had the luxury of being able to keep old worlds. I was young, really, whenever I was playing in those versions, and I never really thought to keep the worlds as I played through them. So eventually, once Jonas probably stops playing with me, this might just get transferred into single player, and I'll keep it as my world that I keep forever. But yeah, basically the whole plan was to have a world that is made in these older versions and basically kept forever as we play through the updates. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is our current world, and hopefully we'll see you guys in an update world tour eventually whenever we have enough to show off. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.